Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to August 2022's recap. Um, right off the bat, ended the month red around 213. It's actually my first red month since September, I believe. So pretty long time. Pretty proud of that streak, but all good things must come to an end, I guess. I only took 5 trades in the month of August. Was pretty busy moving in, starting school again. So that's the reason for that. Only had a 20% win rate. So that's pretty rough. So yeah, let's get into some of these trades here. um, Blue Water Vaccines (BWV). Let me pull up a chart here. This is the yearly chart. This is a monkeypox play, if I do believe. Low float. I was playing on this first green day here. Super diluted stock, just piece of shit company. And I was trying for this dip and rip pattern. It had a great setup pre-market. Had that 8:30 a.m. press release, which I like those. And yeah, so this thing set up pretty nice out of the gate. I thought it spiked up, came back down. It's kind of consolidating around here, kind of formed a little bottom. Broke this trend. I ended up buying. It wasn't in my original plan to buy around this level. I wanted a little bit lower. But I caught FOMO and I thought this thing was going to rip high a day and just continue to run all day since it was a hot sector, low float stock. So I got caught up in that. Ended up buying around like literally the top and selling around low of day. So my risk was on these two little candles here. Sell it right after that. So yeah, I ended up buying the stock back after it formed that nice consolidation that I was originally looking for, which is kind of frustrating. Um, Ended up pushing, double bottoming. Could have been adding more into this confirmation on double bottom, and then sold into basically where I bought before. I was too scared. I just wanted to make my money back, which is a horrible mentality to have. And then this thing ripped high day and then eventually went even higher. So my thesis was right on this stock. It was that hot sector, low float. Excuse me. Yeah. So I don't think this thing had a day two, if I'd believe. Yeah, pretty much crashed after that, but formed some good um, volatility on this day. All right, moving into my second trade, NEPT. This is stupid. This is an after hours. If you know how I trade, I never trade after hours. This is probably one of the first after hours that I have bought in a long time, first one I can remember at least. And yeah, so this one, let me just bring up a better chart here. NEPT. Yeah, so here this is. It was kind of forming this kind of cup and handle type pattern. I can't remember what the other ticker was. There was another ticker previously, like that week, that had formed this type of pattern. And actually broken out on this day, or this day, I believe. This thing actually did break out a little bit, offered some a good trade there, but it faked out. This is kind of choppy stock, as you can see by these big wicks. Like, look at this day. That sucks. Why would I ever want to trade that? But and if you also know me, I'm not really into listed stocks. Listed breakouts aren't really my thing. I'm much more into the OTC side of breakouts. So yeah, let's get into the intraday. So this is the intraday. I'm buying right at the back end of this day, I believe. So I thought this thing could run, break out, and potentially get into the 3.5 to 4 area for a gap up, and then sell into that gap up tomorrow morning. It had tested this triple top here, and it kind of come down. It was kind of consolidating on this uptrend. Ended up buying into there. That was my entry, and then got flushed out by this big wick. My support broke, my risk broke. Ended up cutting it. So it actually saved me a little bit of pain because I think this thing gapped down the next day, if I do believe. Yeah, it gapped down a little, actually a lot. Wow. Um, yeah. So yeah, that saved me a little bit, but it was still stupid loss. Shouldn't have been trying it. So gotta stick to what I'm good at. That's the theme of this month. Is I'm just everywhere. I'm all over the place. I'm not trading what I'm good at and what got me to somewhat profitability over the last year. So next one is INDO. This is a former runner. Let me bring up a better chart here. Here's the daily. It's a former runner back when oil and gas was really hot earlier in the year with the invasion of Ukraine. Thought this thing could maybe form a little bit better run than this. This is kind of sad actually, but this thing was spiking. Had broken out previous like week that earlier that week. It spiked up. I thought this could have another leg up. I think I was buying around this day. It was forming a red day around here. It was dipping down. I thought I could get into a dip, and then this thing could break out, and I could swing it over the next few days for another leg up. I thought oil was breaking out on the XLE chart. Oops, if I can type. This was breaking out around here, and it actually did spike. I'm surprised that INDO did not really go with it, but it happens. It's not exactly a perfect science, as we all know. These are my entries. I thought I had pretty good entries actually. VWAP was around here. I was buying into the low of days. It was forming this nice base. I thought maybe it could potentially um, trend higher into the after hours, and then I would be buying pretty much essentially the low of this consolidation here. But that obviously didn't turn out. I had this really weird price action where it was not trading any volume, and then it was just like big seller, big seller, big seller, just complete weird price action. And I ended up getting out after this. Um, I couldn't get out actually because it was like liquidity issues. I couldn't. I don't know. It was weird. So even into these big volume candles, I couldn't get out. So I eventually got filled around here. This really weird price action again. It was just literally trading sideways. It wasn't even moving. And then that eventually flushed down even more. So that was kind of shitty, but you know, I think it was worth the trade. And then my last trade, it's actually my only OTC trade of the month. OTC has been really slow if you've been trading them, if you've been watching them. So yeah, this was actually forming a pretty nice chart. I like these kind of things. Um, yeah, so I was buying into this green day, I believe, as I thought it could break this high, break out, and then continue to run. This is actually kind of what I was looking for INDO, that big red day or whatever. And then I was trying to get in here, risking these lows pretty much. And then it pulls back or it turns and then retests highs and maybe essentially breaks out. That would be in best case scenario, but this didn't happen in INDO. It didn't happen in DAPLS that much. So yeah, I was buying into this after it recovered really well. Thought this could go ahead and push high day. I could hold it overnight and sell into a gap up tomorrow morning. That did not work. Made a lower high, flushed down, made a double bottom. So I was like, well, I'll risk double bottom. This was initially my risk level, and it didn't touch it. So I was like, well, that's nice. Pushed back a little higher. I thought maybe I could retest it. No. Push low days. I was pretty much the seller right here. So broke my risk and I literally sold like low day. So that's kind of shitty. Push back up, had a little bit of a spike. This is what I was kind of looking for, but got my timing off. And then this essentially failed the next few days. So, in looking back on it in the big picture, and this sell is a lot better than this sell, right? So we cut our loss. It's important to keep discipline on that stuff. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's recap last month. Next month going forward, I'm really going to try to focus on staying the course on what I'm good at, what got me profitable, and essentially, yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.